No one saw this coming. The moment that would shake all elite wrestling to its core began with one cryptic camera shot and ended with a name no one expected to hear: LeBrock. It was a typical AEW Dynamite night. High energy, packed arena, roaring crowd. But there was something different in the air. The lights flickered, the Tron glitched, and a shadowy figure appeared backstage. Commentary scrambled to identify her, but all that flashed across the screen was a chilling message. Violence runs in the bloodline. The fans went wild online. Twitter exploded, Reddit threads ignited. Who is she? Is it a debut? Is AEW teasing a Hollywood crossover? The energy built through every match, every commercial break, until Tony Schiavone finally said the words that sent the crowd into a frenzy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been informed there's a special guest arriving tonight, with a very dangerous pedigree. Backstage, cameras caught wrestlers whispering. Security doubled. Rumors spread faster than the pyro could light up the stage. Then, during the women's main event between Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa, the lights died. For 5 full seconds, darkness. The audience screamed. When they came back on, a tall, black-clad figure was standing ringside, her presence alone stopping both wrestlers cold. Jim Ross's voice cracked. "Wait a minute. No way. That's Arissa LeBrock, Steven Seagal's daughter's in AEW." The arena erupted. The crowd's roar was deafening. Some cheering, some stunned into silence. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. A Hollywood martial arts legend's daughter standing in the heart of AEW's squared circle, eyes locked on the camera with deadly calm. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. She just smirked. Social media exploded instantly. AEW just brought in Steven Seagal's daughter? She's a model, not a fighter. This is going to be wild. Commentators called it the most unpredictable debut since Ronda Rousey. But Arissa wasn't smiling for the spotlight. She was smiling for war. Because behind the scenes, she hadn't come just to appear. She'd come to fight. And AEW had no idea what was coming next. What Arissa did moments later would ignite one of the most chaotic scenes in AEW history. Before the chaos, before the storm, Arissa LeBrock was already a name Hollywood knew, but not like this. Born to Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock, Arissa grew up surrounded by fame, film sets, and martial arts training. While other celebrity kids chased the red carpet, Arissa was in the dojo, learning the same techniques that made her father one of cinema's deadliest icons. But fans didn't know how serious she was. She'd been quietly training in MMA and pro wrestling for years, out of the spotlight, in small gyms, absorbing punishment and discipline. Trainers later revealed that she hit harder than half the men in the room. Then came her transformation. The glamour model turned fighter. She dropped Hollywood styling, cut her hair, and built a fighter's physique. Fans online called it the Seagal reboot. AEW scouts took notice after a viral video showed her sparring session where she knocked out a 200-pound opponent with a spinning back kick straight out of Under Siege. The clip spread like wildfire. Tony Khan reportedly said, if she ever steps in a ring, it's going to break the internet. And now, she had stepped in. As the crowd's chants echoed, Arissa grabbed a mic. Her voice was steady, cold, and cinematic. "You all know my father taught me one thing. Never start a fight unless you're ready to end it." Fans went wild. The arena shook. Even the AEW roster backstage stared at the monitors in disbelief. Was this just a guest spot? Or was Arissa officially entering AEW competition? Then she dropped the bombshell. "Next week, I make my in-ring debut." The crowd erupted. Commentators shouted over each other. Social media blew up with millions of views within minutes. Memes, predictions, dream matches, all flooding timelines. But not everyone was cheering. In the shadows, one woman watched silently. Saraya. The anti-diva, the former champion, unimpressed and unafraid. She smirked and whispered, "Hollywood doesn't belong here." And just like that, AEW's newest rivalry was born. One that would turn personal, fast. When ego meets legacy, someone's going down. And in AEW, that collision was about to happen under blinding lights and boiling tension. The next Dynamite opened with a haunting video package. Saraya in black leather, pacing, mocking Hollywood. "You think because your dad broke arms on screen, you can walk in here and run this place?" She spat into the camera. Fans online were torn. Some backed Saraya, the proven warrior. Others backed Arisa, the mysterious newcomer with real fighting blood. Hashtags Team Saraya and Team LeBrock trended worldwide. Backstage leaks said Saraya refused to let Arisa disrespect the ring. But insiders claimed Arisa's calm demeanor was what made AEW nervous. She wasn't intimidated. She was waiting. The night of their confrontation, AEW went off script. Cameras followed as Saraya interrupted Arisa's interview, throwing verbal jabs before shoving her shoulder. The crowd gasped. Arisa didn't flinch. Instead, she slowly raised her head, whispered, "You just made a mistake." And then, the first slap echoed like a gunshot. The locker room chaos exploded. Security stormed in, but both women were throwing real shots. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. "This looks real," one fan tweeted. Clips went viral instantly. Millions of views within an hour. Reddit threads debated whether the fight was a work or a shoot. One camera caught Tony Khan shouting, "Get them apart, now." When the dust settled, one truth remained. The feud had crossed the line. Saraya was out for respect. Arisa was out for blood. AEW announced the match, Saraya versus Arisa LeBrock, unsanctioned street fight. The arena tickets sold out in minutes. Analysts called it AEW's most unpredictable crossover moment ever. But behind the hype, one rumor started circulating. Steven Seagal himself might appear ringside. And if that happened, AEW wouldn't just make headlines, it would make history. The atmosphere was electric, the kind of tension you could feel through the screen. AEW Dynamite wasn't just another show tonight. It was a storm waiting to explode. The cameras caught Arisa in the locker room, hands taped, calm as stone. "I was raised for moments like this," she said. Outside, Saraya was pacing like a caged animal. As the bell rang, the crowd erupted into chaos. Steel chairs clanged, chants thundered through the arena. "Lee Brock! Lee Brock!" echoed from every corner. From the first hit, it was clear. This wasn't your typical debut. Saraya went hard, knees, elbows, taunts. But Arisa answered with a roundhouse kick that dropped Saraya instantly. Fans jumped to their feet. "Holy S!" Chants filled the air. The commentary table went wild. She's not just surviving, she's dominating. The fight spilled outside the ring. Tables broke. Arisa performed a judo throw straight out of her father's playbook. Fluid, lethal, precise. Every move was cinematic perfection. Then it happened. Mid-match, the cameras panned to the ramp, and there he was. Steven Seagal himself. Standing tall, arms crossed, eyes locked on the ring. The crowd went ballistic. The arena roof nearly came off. Saraya froze for a moment, disbelief written across her face. Arisa looked up at her father, nodded once, then delivered a brutal spinning back kick that sent Saraya through a table. Fans lost their minds. The noise was deafening. Viewers online declared it the most viral AEW moment of the year. Referee counted. 1, 2, 3. Arisa LeBrock had done it. On her debut night, in a savage street fight, she defeated one of AEW's most feared women. As confetti fell, Arisa stood beside her father. The camera zoomed in, a perfect cinematic moment. But Seagal didn't smile. He leaned toward her and whispered something only she could hear. Her face changed. The music stopped. She turned back toward the ring, eyes dark, breathing heavy. Whatever he said, it wasn't over. The dust had settled, but AEW wasn't ready for the aftershock. Within hours, clips of Arissa's debut broke records online. Over 20 million views on YouTube in 24 hours. AEW just made history, tweeted ESPN. But backstage, the locker room was divided. Some wrestlers respected her. Others accused AEW of Hollywood favoritism. Reports leaked of tension between veterans and newcomers. One insider revealed, "There's fear, because she's real." Arissa's rise became front-page news. Talk shows, podcasts, entertainment outlets. Everyone wanted an interview, but she refused them all. Instead, AEW released a chilling promo. Arissa alone in a dojo, breaking boards with precision, whispering, "You've seen nothing yet?" Fans were hooked. The crowd at every event chanted her name, demanding her return. Merch sales exploded. Tony Khan called it a phenomenon. Meanwhile, Saraya wasn't done. She appeared on Rampage, face bruised, eyes burning. "You didn't beat me," she snarled. "You survived me." The rivalry reignited instantly. Fans couldn't get enough. Commentators compared it to Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. Raw emotion, blurred reality. Then came the twist. Arissa's next match announcement. Not against Saraya, but against 3 opponents in a gauntlet match. Social media erupted. "They're testing her. They want to see if she's the real deal." But when Arissa arrived at the arena, she wasn't alone. Her father was seen speaking privately with Tony Khan. Cameras tried to catch audio, but the only words heard were, "She's ready for the next level." And that next level would push AEW into uncharted territory. It was more than a fight now. It was legacy versus doubt, discipline versus danger. And Arissa LeBrock was walking straight into the fire. The gauntlet match began under thunderous cheers. 3 opponents, Nyla Rose, Ruby Soho, and Britt Baker. Each one determined to humble the newcomer. Round 1, Arissa versus Nyla. Power versus precision. Nyla dominated early, tossing Arissa around. But then, a flawless armbar reversal turned the tide. The crowd erupted. "She learned that from her dad," yelled commentary. Tap out, round 1 done. Round 2. Ruby Soho came in fast, technical, aggressive. Arissa countered with perfect judo transitions, chaining strikes and submissions like a pro. Ruby barely survived the bell. Round 3, Britt Baker, the doctor, the icon. The crowd was on fire now. Britt taunted, slapped her, screamed, "You don't belong here." Arissa's eyes went cold. One swift spin kick, bang. Britt dropped. 1, 2, 3. The arena exploded. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. "This woman is unstoppable," shouted Schiavone. Steven Seagal appeared again, walking slowly to the ring. He raised his daughter's hand, the lights dimmed, and the camera zoomed in on his face. "You've proven yourself," he said into the mic. "Now, show them what a LeBrock truly is." And with that, Arissa delivered one final message to the AEW universe. "I'm not here to be famous. I'm here to make you remember my name." Fireworks burst. Fans online called it cinematic perfection. AEW ended that night trending #1 worldwide. As the lights faded and the cameras cut, Tony Khan reportedly told his crew, "We just witnessed the birth of a legacy." And somewhere in the shadows, Arissa smiled, because this was only the beginning.